It is finished. Dun da da da! Inktober! Today is the last day of Inktober, which if you don't know what Inktober is, I'll leave a link in the description box where I talk about Inktober. But basically, it's a challenge created by Jake Parker to draw something every day in the month of October using ink. In this video, I want to give you a tour of the 31 sketches that I did in my Inktober sketchbook. Now, before you get all excited, let me explain something. When you search the hashtag Inktober or Inktober 2016, you're going to see some amazing pieces. There are artists out there that I do not doubt they spent a majority of every single day working on each individual piece for Inktober. I knew I couldn't hold up to that kind of challenge because I already have so many different art projects and videos that I have to get out, and I knew I probably could go strong for a week or two, but I wouldn't be able to push through. It's great to give yourself goals, but make sure they're realistic ones that you can achieve. Finishing a challenge, even if it's a simple challenge or a simple goal, is so rewarding. So make sure to set realistic goals for yourself. For my Inktober challenge, I had 3 requirements. One is all Inktober's had to go into this book. The reason is because it's easy at the end of the day to go, oh, I didn't draw for Inktober specifically, but guaranteed I probably do something in ink because I'm working with art all day long, and I could be like, well, that was Inktober. I wanted to make sure that my Inktober sketches were specifically meant for Inktober. So I got this cool little sketchbook that I could take with me, and I filled it up. The second stipulation I had was that even though I didn't have to make these a detailed or time-intensive works, I did have to follow a prompt. On Jake Parker's website, where he talks about Inktober, he gave a 31-day prompt, which is just simply one word, and the first thing I would think of is what I would draw. Sometimes it was cool, sometimes not so cool, and that's okay. Each piece does not have to be amazing, it just has to get done. The last requirement I had for Inktober was one that I implemented a couple days into it, so the first couple pages you won't see that, and I decided that this pen made me draw differently than I normally do, and so I could only use this pen to create. So this is a Pentel brush pen. So it has a really, really nice brush nib to it. And remember, Inktober's only requirements is that you create a picture for every single day of October using ink. Day 1's prompt was the word fast, and so I created this piece, which is off of the story of the rabbit and the tortoise, which kind of gave me the inspiration to finish the race. Day number 2's word was noisy. As a YouTuber, I have to deal with these birds and other things all the time, but these ones are the loudest, and they seem to like to sit in the branches right next to my window and squawk every time I try to record a video. So that is the first thing that popped into my mind. Day 3 was collect, and as you guys know, I am slightly a Copic-holic, and so decided to go ahead and draw a Copic, and I tried to do it as realistically as I could using inks and Copic coloring. So this is where I began to switch over to the pen a little bit. So day number 4 was hungry, and the first thing I thought about wasn't exactly food, was more the desire people have, and so I drew this face and just tried to express maybe that she has a hunger for something in her life. From this page on, I am strictly now using just this pen. I also don't allow myself to use any pencil sketches to kind of sketch in anything, so it's just, this is very raw, the rest of this. So I drew this little ghost Halloween kid, and he's sad because his candy's all gone. Day number 6 is hidden, and I love how cats like to hide, but usually they're not that great, and you can see them. So this was a picture kind of based on my mom and dad's cat. Day 7 is the word lost. And so it has 2 parents, and they're trying to figure out this map, and this baby down here, I don't know. This one I did use a reference photo for. I tried to limit what I would use reference photos for, but I decided to do Mount Rushmore for the word prompt rock. And it was a bit of a challenge because I've never drawn these presidents' faces before, and drawing strictly out in ink was so fun because you just can't worry about messing up. You just have to go for it. So there's my rock facey thing. So I'm starting to get a little dark here. This word for day number 8 is broken. And I have a little doll, broken doll in a donation box. Day 9 is the word jump, and I tried to draw kind of a perspective page of this girl jumping off a cliff into the water. And so, yeah, it was kind of a fun little perspective. So sometimes the first thought I have in my mind is weird. So number 10 was transport, and I thought of an invention called the mover, and it moves cows. So that was my, yeah. Okay, so I thought for a second that I'd skipped a day because it went from 10 to 12, but really this is 8. And then I had broken as 8. So this is actually 9, making this one 10, making this one 11, making then this one 12. So just in case you were like, oh, she skipped one. I didn't, I just misnumbered. So number 12 is worried, and the first thought that comes into my mind is what I do when I'm worried, which is pray. Number 13 is scared, and so I drew this spider, and he's pretty scary. But I decided the spider isn't really scared, and so I drew a little person, and that person definitely would be scared. So there we go. Day 14 is tree, so I tried to do a Tim Burton themed tree without looking at a reference of Tim Burton. I don't know. So this is Relax, and this is actually based on a cat that I had, though my cat was black. I didn't color this one all the way black. And the mouse would crawl all over my cat, and I was like, that is one relaxed mouse. So I drew this cat with a little mouse sleeping. Day 16's prompt was wet, so I drew my mom and dad's dog Ruger after he gets his bath, and he always has this ginormous like mouth. He's such a funny looking dog. So there he is, very happy to have his bath done. All right, so this one's pretty epic. Number 17 was battle, so I did a thumb war, which was the first thing I thought of with battle, and I decided to make them ninja thumbs. So there we go. Number 18 was escape, which this is a good example of something that looked really good in my head. And, you know, you put down ink without, you know, pencil sketches or something, and it may not turn out the way you want it. So I love this idea of kind of the silhouette of a bird cage and the bird flying away, but it's a good idea, but I'm not super pleased with the picture. I am, though, very pleased with this picture, which is 19's flight, and I decided just to do all these birds flying. Number 20 is the word squeeze, and the first thing I thought of was a little octopus giving himself a hug, and I did add a little bit of pink highlight for his face just because he needed it. He needed it. Day number 21 was the word big, and because I live kind of in Bigfoot central area, that was the first thing that popped into my brain, so I did a little Sasquatch. So going the opposite on day 23 was little, and I think I hang out with the kids a lot because the first thing I thought of when I heard little was Littlefoot. I did use a reference photo to look at kind of the facial features for Littlefoot, and I'd never drawn him before, so I was excited that it turned out so well without a pencil kind of building up things, so that was fun. For day 23 slow, I drew this really cute little snail, kind of booking along as fast as his slowy little self can go. So this one was a really fun prompt because it took me a while to figure out something to draw with this one. The prompt was 1 dozen, and it made me think of a movie that I watched a long time ago, which was called Cheaper by the Dozen. Now, there has been a remake that they made, well, for you guys would be a long time ago, but this movie is actually super, super old, and it's about a husband and wife that had 12 children, and so I just drew a picture of a mom and dad and then 12 children in the car, and it was fun. It was challenging because I couldn't pre-plan where everyone was and kind of sketch them in. I just had to throw them in as we went. So there's dad and mom and a baby, 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the dog. Day number 26 was the word box, and I really wanted to pay a little bit of homage to the creator of Inktober, which is Jake Parker. So I drew his character from his new children's book in popping out of a box. If you guys have never checked out Jake Parker or have seen his kids book, I highly recommend that you go and check out his website, and definitely, even if you're not a kid, check out his book. It is so adorable. Okay, so this is one of those ones that I don't know if it turned out or not. The word was creepy for day 27. So I drew this rabbit mask, like a Halloween mask, but I wanted like a scary monster to be wearing it. So like the creepy factor, is it that it's a creepy rabbit mask, or is it that it's the monster behind it? Day 28 was burn, and I decided to draw a candle that is just, you know, finished burning and it's burned out. Kind of feeling how I was feeling towards the end of this challenge. I was feeling very burnt out and ready to be done with Inktober, but wanted to push through and get the rest of them done. So day 29 was surprise. So I drew a little girl on her birthday with a kitten. No, not a piece that I'm overly excited about, but okay, this probably is the scariest piece ever. It's day 23, which is a wreck, and I wanted to draw how I feel when I finish a huge commission or a big project, which is just totally exhausted. But I also wanted to create this piece using primarily my non-dominant hand because I'm left-handed, so I drew a good portion of this with my right hand. Frightfully scary. It should be on the creepy page. I kind of look like a zombie. And the final last day, which is 31, which is friend, and there were so many different things that I could think of and draw as friend, but again, I had to draw the very first thing that came to my mind. And this sketchbook is like a friend to me because a lot of things happened during the month of October, and as I look back at each one of these pictures, it reminds me exactly where I was when I drew them. You know, the people that I was with, the situations that I was in are all forever bonded into this book with pictures. You guys, I did it. I finished Inktober. I'm so excited that I can say that I actually did Inktober. Now, and I'm going to be honest, that I did not do a picture every single day. There were a couple times that I would get behind and I would just have to catch up. Yes, I would love to say that I can do Inktober and do an ink page every single day. And that's a goal maybe for next year, maybe that's my requirement for next year, is that it has to be every day. But the thing is if you start a goal or give yourself a challenge and you fall behind, don't give up on it. Just start where you left off or work hard to catch yourself up, but don't give up. If you did Inktober and have a video with the collections of your sketches for this year's Inktober, let me know. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this video, check out one of these two videos. And if you're brand new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And as always, thanks so much for watching. And until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye. Isn't this awesome how there was just the right number of pages? That also means that if you mess up, you can't rip it out. Ah.